Namaste, namaste, and welcome to Monday Midday Chair Yoga. This is our penultimate week of term, and we've been working this whole term on thinking about a strong center and helping our strong foundation. And we're going to continue that work here today. I've got my feet up on two blocks, and I'm going to use one of these blocks in the middle of the class, but this practice can be done without. So don't feel that you need to rush and get anything. We'll start just sitting towards the edge of the seat and sitting nice and tall. So not slouching back into the chair, but using the center of the body to find a sense of spaciousness through the front. So we're not slouching here, but sitting tall. Relax your arms wherever you find them. Maybe close your eyes or gaze gently downward. Take a moment to just step away from everything else that's been going on around you. Bring yourself into this time and this space for your yoga practice. Notice how you're feeling in this moment. Become aware of all of the parts of the body that need a little bit of extra care and compassion throughout our practice. Notice too at least one part of the body that feels peaceful, spacious, and at ease. Begin to soften the effort from around your face, your forehead, your eyes, your tongue and jaw and shoulders. And then bring your awareness to your breath and gently deepen your breath. Begin to feel like you're increasing the amount of breath that you take in and the amount of breath that you press out by using the belly muscles just to engage there and exhale fully. Breathing deeply into the sides of the body, the back and the chest. Breathing out a long, slow, deep breath, engaging across the navel to breathe out completely. Breathing in long and slow and deep. Feel that breath lift you tall, and then as you exhale, just softening, relaxing into this body, engaging across the navel. Maybe two more long, deep breaths like this. Charging your body with prana. Increasing that sense of vitality and alertness in the mind. At the end of your next exhalation, simply allowing your breath to find its natural, spontaneous rhythm and fall into quietness. We're going to draw our chin towards the chest and just have a small smile. And when you're ready, you can raise your head, blink your eyes open, and maybe make some shoulder rolls if that feels good. A few shoulder rolls in each direction. We're going to just start ourselves here at the neck and work down a little bit before we get to moving the low body. So sitting nice and tall and just turning to look over one shoulder and turning back to center and turning to look over the opposite shoulder. So here you don't have to turn very far. So we're trying to experience where the body meets, offers resistance. And we meet that resistance perhaps, but not pressing through it, just moving back away. One more time to each side. And then from the center, taking one ear to one shoulder, and then up and over to the opposite side. So beginning with maybe some quite gentle side bending, keeping your shoulders nice and relaxed. And then if you wish to, you can hang out in your sideways position And just see if a gentle nod of the chin or the head up and down feels good. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't, it's okay. When you're ready, you can come back to the center and then the other side. Just hanging out there. If it feels good, you can gently nod your head. It helps here to keep the mouth closed, to really feel sensations down the side of the neck. When you're ready, coming back to center, we're going to take the chin down to the chest one more time. Nice deep breath in, just soften the shoulders, maybe even let the arms hang down to the sides. And then smiling gently, come back to center. Take your bottom teeth over your top teeth and lift your chin up. Feel that space down the front of the body. And then coming back to a neutral spot. Rolling the shoulders, relaxing the jaw, maybe wiggling the bottom jaw from side to side. And now we can move our practice into other places. So we're going to step the feet. I've got blocks, but I'm going to step the feet off the blocks to take a nice wide legged stance. Quite a lot of the buttocks and maybe even the upper thighs on the chair. And then hands either on the hips or out to the side. It doesn't matter which. We can begin to stir the body in a circle. So we're effectively making the head circle around where the base of the spine meets the chair. And in this movement, just as we warm up a little bit, you might be aware of moving the sides of the body, maybe creating a little bit of length across the back and the front of the body as well. And then if you wish to, you can allow your head to move a little bit so you can be a bit more expressive here, maybe moving the shoulders across the body, lifting your chin as your body goes backwards, drawing your chin to your chest as your body comes forwards. Just enjoying pressing into the feet, keeping a little lift through the belly muscles. And when you're ready, start small, going in the opposite direction. So it's nice to come back to that sort of more centered position first, and then as you move, as you get more comfortable, you can begin to move in a more expressive way. The feet are really supportive. The legs are very active to allow us to make these movements. And we want to be using the belly muscles as well, letting the head follow the movement as much as possible. Let's maybe do one more in this direction. Coming back to the center. Wonderful stuff. Just turning the knees to point forwards if that is comfortable. The feet can stay on the floor. We'll take the arms out to the side. We're going to draw the palms towards each other and press the fingertips away. Scoop the belly in, chin to chest. And then sit really tall. Take the arms around the body and draw them down, if you can, behind the body. As you come forward with the arms, bringing the palms together, rounding through the spine, tucking the chin into the chest, reach the fingertips forward, reach the upper back backwards, and then sitting tall, opening the chest, taking the arms around the body, maybe lifting the chest, maybe a sense of drawing forward with the front of the body and back with the tailbone, a lift in the belly muscles, and we'll come into that full circle where we draw the fingertips towards each other and forward, rounding through the spine, and then sitting tall to open the front of the body and take the arms around the body. Let's do one more like that. Reaching the hands forward, rounding through the spine, scooping the belly in, and then sitting tall, reaching the arms around the body, lifting the chest. Very good. Coming back to the center, just give your shoulders a little wiggle. Hopefully that feels all good. Smashing stuff. So we are going to use our blocks in front of us. So you don't have to use a block, but if you've got one, it's nice to have. And we will come to using it in just a minute once we've warmed up the legs a little bit. So we're just going to focus on the feet, spreading out the toes, and then coming onto the ball of the foot with one foot and then with the other. So we're just doing a little paddle up and down. And I'm just glancing down so I can see my self in the screen. And that is because this ankle always likes to go out to the side. So if you can, be aware of keeping your ankles over the center of the foot or towards the center of the foot if possible. Just moving up and down. It's like a little light pedaling with the heels. And then we're going to do the same thing, but with the toes lifting. You might want your feet a little bit further out in front of you, just lifting one foot and then the other, taking the weight onto the heel and then the other. Opposite sides. The rest of the body can be nice and tall and nice and relaxed. Just lightly tapping one toe and then the other, tapping one foot and then the other. Very good. You can maybe feel some of your leg muscles switching on and then just resting. So these muscles in the calves, we've got the gastrocnemius and the soleus or soleus, and they are big muscles and they help our venous return. So they help pump the blood back towards the heart, which is great if you have any blood pressure issues. It's a really nice thing to do if you're sitting, just to move the ankles. And we're going to do this alternate side. So lifting the toes of the right foot, the right foot, and lifting the heel of the left foot, and then swapping to the other side. So if you can, just rocking all the way from toes to heels, but doing alternate feet. If alternate feet is just a bit too much of a coordination, do both together at the same time. That's fine. Doesn't matter. It's all good. And sometimes we need to concentrate a little bit on this. But if you can, sit nice and tall. Just allow yourself to be absorbed by the sensation of the work. We don't want to work so hard that we get cramp, but we do want to be active in the movements. Very good. And then resting both feet down. Just giving your toes a little bit of a wiggle. We're going to stretch the feet forward, keep the knees bent, and just roll the ankles. So here we're trying to get a different sensation of movement. So it's not just forwards and backwards, but round and round. And if you can allow your knees to move with you, then that round and round lubricating movement comes into the hips. It's a really nice way to prepare the hip joints for more movement. We can go the opposite way as well. And this is also a lovely way to release your hip flexors a little bit if you've been sitting a lot, or if you've been driving. Driving is something that sometimes irritates the front of the hips there. When you're ready, you can bring your feet back towards you, and then we're going to bring the block to stand next to the left foot. So here we want to sit tall and make sure our right leg is actively pressing down, and we have that sensation of pressing the right foot into the floor, and that helps us to prop our body upright. Then we're lifting the left foot up, taking it out to the side and down. If this block is too high, you can turn your block down, or you can take the block away completely and just move as much as feels comfortable. So pressing down into the right side, nice and firm across the belly, lifting the left leg up and out and down, and then up and out and in. So we're going to do a few of these. See if you can get that movement to be less robotic and more smooth. Up and out, up and in. Let's do one more in each direction. Very good. Smashing. Then I'm going to take that same leg and lengthen the leg so it's straight. And now the left leg is straight. We can again press into the right leg, feel that lift in the center of the body as well, lifting the straight leg up and out and up and in. Again, you don't have to use a block to move over. You might prefer to just be using your own vision to show that you're moving out and in, without the need of a support like this. We'll do one more. Nice and firm still in that right leg. You can feel the right leg muscles working, and then we're going to draw both feet in, and just for a moment observe the effect there. And we might like to here scooch a little bit further back onto the seat, and then just do a nice little forward bend. So with the hips a little bit further back, we can slide the hands down the legs. And this is like a seated child's pose. We're relaxing the back of the neck,
Let the hands hang heavy. And then the weight of the body is resting onto the thighs. And we can just use our breath a couple of times here to feel a little bit of space through the back of the body. And then we're going to bring the hands to the tops of the knees and just bring ourselves into an upright position. We've got our feet nice and close together, the block on the outside of the right foot. We're going to press the left foot into the floor, sitting tall, and lifting the right leg up, out, and down, up, in, and down. So if the block is too high, turn the block to a lower position or take the block away completely. Here we're trying to encourage that effort in the front of the legs and at the hip as well. Keep the left leg pressing into the floor, nice and firm across your center. We'll do one more here. Seeing if you can make it nice and smooth. Maybe one more actually. Sorry, two more here. Nice and smooth in and out. Very good. Then extending the right leg nice and long. Again, pressing into the left leg, finding that lift through the body, lifting the leg straight up and over, straight over and back. So I've found a knobbly bit in my buttocks. It's just something that it just seems to nobble. It's a bony bit knobbling against the hard chair. But hopefully it feels a bit more comfortable at your end. And we're just trying to find that sense of effort in the left side of the body. Maybe one more here. Very good. They look very easy, but they're actually quite challenging. So bear that in mind. If that felt like too many, maybe next time you could just do 2 or 3 and build slowly up. We're going to take the feet nice and wide and turn out the knees, maybe get yourself a little bit more centered on your seat, a little bit further back. And then here we'll give ourselves an opportunity to bend over each leg. So we're going to take the arms out to the side and then gently turn over the left leg and reach ourselves forward towards the left side. Now it might be that you leave your arms up, or if you bring your arms down to your waist, that is okay too. Or you might bring your arms down to the knee in front of you or the thigh in front of you. For those who would like to, wherever you are, you can just gently wiggle your chest from side to side if that feels good. Nice lift across the belly muscles. And then for those who would like to, you can fold a little deeper into that forward bend, but making sure the feet feel really sturdy on the floor and you feel really sturdy on your seat as well. Take a moment to relax in the forward bend. It could be up here or lower down, it doesn't matter. And then when you're ready, hands back to the top of the thigh or the knee, and then pressing into the hands to bring yourself to an upright position, center yourself here, and then we're going to gently stretch to each side. So left forearm to left side, reaching the right arm over, and then slowly back to the center, nice and firm in the feet and the belly, right forearm to right side, reaching the left arm over. Let's do one more of those to each side. Left forearm to left side, reaching the right arm over, lifting in the belly, right forearm to right thigh, and reaching the left arm over. And coming back to the center. Very good. So in our center, we're going to turn to do the opposite leg, nice and firm in the belly, reaching the arms out and up as we turn to face over the right leg. And we can reach forward over the right leg. This might be where you like to stay, or you can bring your hands down to your waist, or you might rest them onto the top of your thigh. Wherever you are, just swaying your chest a little bit from side to side, as long as that feels okay. Lift in the belly, pressing into the feet. And then if that feels good, you might like to fold a little bit deeper down. You don't have to, you can stay in whichever forward bend you're in. If you wish to, you can reach all the way down over that right leg. Little softening of the elbows and the back of the neck. Maybe a couple of deeper breaths. And then when you're ready to come up, your hands can come to the top of the thigh again, pressing into the hands to come all the way back to center. And then we'll do our sideways movements, but this time we're going to do a little twist with them. So reaching the arms nice and wide, taking the left forearm down to the left thigh, reach the right arm up and over, and then we're holding here. We're going to press into the left arm and just roll the right shoulder a little bit further back, and then roll the right shoulder a little bit further forward. Nice and firm across the belly, rolling open with the chest, and rolling forward to open the upper back, maybe looking down at the left foot. One more time, rolling open and rolling forward. We're going to take our hands over, right hand over to the right side, left hand on the left side, and just sway the chest from side to side here. It's a little snaking effort. You can maybe feel your shoulders moving. Make it as expressive as feels good to you. And then in the center, we're going to come all the way up to an upright position without having really folded any further forward, which is good. And then taking the arms wide, right forearm to right thigh, reaching the left arm over. And here in our side bend, we're pressing into the right arm and moving the left shoulder backwards to open the left side of the chest towards the ceiling. And then move the left shoulder forwards, maybe looking down towards the floor. Pressing into the feet and lifting in the belly muscles to open as we twist up towards the ceiling and twist forwards towards the floor. Just opening across the chest, engaging that space across the back, and then opening across the back as we engage that space across the chest. Let's take the left hand over to the left side of the body, and we're pressing into both hands to lift our chest forward. And here you can turn your hands in any direction, it doesn't matter. We're snaking the chest from side to side, lifting in the belly muscles. And then for those who would like to, you can forward bend here, just softly resting the hands all the way down the legs towards the floor and allowing the back of the body to lengthen so the head can hang towards the floor as well. Little deep breath in and out here, nice and soft across the belly, or engaged across the belly if you prefer. And then when you're ready, you can slide the hands to the tops of the knees. Look forward first, so you flatten the spine, lift in the belly, come all the way up to a sitting upright pose. We're going to bring the feet towards each other. And just take a moment, coming to center, resting the hands, closing the eyes, or resting the arms down by the side if you prefer. Feel the effect of your practice so far. You might like to roll your shoulders a few times backwards and forwards. So we are now going to stand up for the rest of the class until we come to relaxation. So here, to come to our sit to stand, we want to do a little bit of floating. Make sure you have enough of your buttocks on the chair that you can easily find your way back to the chair. You can even have your chair resting against a wall so it can't move. And then we want the feet directly underneath the knees, nice and firm in the belly. Reach the hands forward and just float your weight onto your feet and your buttocks off the seat, and then rest down. We want to float the weight up and really take the effort into the legs, and then rest down. So we're lightly lifting, lightly lowering, belly muscles working all the time as we lift and lower. This time we're going to lift and hold. And then from this held position, we're going to press into the legs to stand all the way tall. Take the arms around the body, lift the chest a little. Maybe the arms come slightly behind the body. And then as they circle forward, we lengthen the tailbone backwards, scoop the belly in, bend the knees, and lightly land on our seat again. Let's do that a few times. Coming forward to float and hover in the squat position, and then we're reaching the legs long, the arms around the body, the chest lifting, the belly lifting, arms coming back and down, head more neutral, and then reaching the hands forward, the tailbone backwards, bending the knees, and lightly sitting down. And we want to have this level of control. So if it's a work in progress, that's absolutely fine. Just practice. Practice, if you can, every day. Just a few sit to stands and a few stand all the way up. All the way up. I don't know what to call that. There we are. We'll do one more and we'll stay standing. So we're reaching forwards, pressing into the legs, standing all the way tall, reaching the arms down by the side, and we are staying upright. So as we come to the upright position, maybe organize your spine so you're feeling that spaciousness and that lift into the crown of the head. Take a deep breath in, sigh out. Very good.
Let me just pop this chair to one side, just a little. We'll come back to using it in a moment. We're going to take our feet nice and wide, a little soft in the knees, and then gently twist from side to side. Kati Chakrasana is such a lovely thing to do, particularly when you've made more effort in your seated position. So if you can, through your day, take the opportunity to do a little Kati Chakrasana. You might do it when you get up to make a cup of tea, while you're waiting for the kettle to boil, or you might do it while you're waiting for a phone call, or even if you're on the phone with someone, if you can manage that. Whenever you have to stand for a few minutes, just give yourself a little Kati Chakrasana. Then we're going to pivot on our toes. You can do any version you like when you're doing it as your home practice. Here we're going to add a soft bend in the knees, maybe touching the opposite shoulder in front, opposite hip behind, and finding that belly lift, engagement through the center of the abdomen. And then we're going to turn this into a little sideways movement. So we're going to reach the arms across the body, still keeping that bounce, and just pointing the opposite foot to the other side. If you feel unsteady here, you can keep your movement a lot smaller, a lot more steady. If you're happy to give it a little bit more energy, then you can do that too. You might like to step that pointed foot a little bit back. You can even reach your hands a little higher. They don't need to be close to your head to do that. You can reach them nice and wide, but feeling the back of the body engaging as well. And then if you like to, you can float that back leg off the floor. That's only if you're feeling quite good in your balance. And it might take you a few moments to just settle into that routine. But here we're trying to engage the back of the body. When we sit, the back of the body is less engaged. So it's really nice to fire it up for work on the floor. Let's do one more to each side. And then bring your feet to steadiness and sway back to center. Notice the effect on your heart rate, your breath rate. Deep breath in, sigh out. And roll your shoulders a few times. Make any wiggles that feel good to you. Faces. So we are going to work to move ourselves towards a balance and balancing poses. But I wanted to do a quick bit of work for the center of the body while we're here. So we're going to take our feet nice and wide apart, a little soft in the knees, and then we're going to make figure of eights. Take the left hip around the left ankle, the right hip around the right ankle, sorry, and then just go from side to side. So what we really do here is we take the weight over that leg. We're engaging that leg. And that's what happens in the low body. And then across the center here, if we keep our shoulders quite still, we get a lot of work down the sides of the body, the back of the body, front of the body. So that's what we're aiming to do, is bring ourselves to a point where the upper body remains quite still and the rest of the body is moving as expressively as feels good to you. It's a really nice thing to do. It's almost all body work, because by stabilizing with the upper part of the torso, you're actually using those muscles to keep yourself centered. And then here we can reverse that motion. And I always find that really quite toughy to coordinate going in the opposite direction. It's hard to make it as smooth and as effortless or graceful. So that's what we're working on. Little active core muscle, drawing the belly muscles inwards and outwards. Just trying to find your way with your hips there. If you've ended up moving a bit more because you're going in the opposite direction, that's okay. When you're ready, coming back to the center, but just take a cleansing breath. Breathing in, take the arms around the body and up. Breathing out, palms together and to the center of the chest. One more like that. Breathing in. And breathing out. Very good. Now reaching the arms nice and wide. We're going to turn the left palm up and the right palm down or back if you've got more rotation, and then just go from side to side. So we're rolling
as if we were holding a ball and we're turning it up and turning it down. The hands can even be as if you were holding a big ball, like our big squashy red balls would be perfect here. And we want to see if we can get a sense of movement across the shoulders. And then you can see if moving your shoulders makes it feel better. So you can do a little sort of twist and turn with this as well. Wriggling the shoulder blades across the upper back, moving through the sides of the body, keeping the arms nice and long. And then when you're ready, you can bring your shoulders back to stillness or near stillness and try moving just with the arms and the shoulders. When you're ready, floating your arms down to your side, giving yourself a little shoulder roll, shoulder wriggle. That is, again, much more effort than it looks. Shake out your hands. Very good. Okay. So we're going to use our chairs to help with balance here. And we're also going to try to see if we can come away from the chairs where possible. So I'd like you to use your chair so that you have a sense of support and so that nobody falls off their feet. But when you feel ready to move away from your chair, you can simply release your hand and then you'll be doing it without. So the first thing we're going to do is just to find out how our balance is on both sides of the body. So bringing your feet towards each other, take the weight onto the right leg first. I've got my chair on the right, but it doesn't matter which side your chair is on. We're finding that lift in the body. So we really want to activate the belly muscles, create that sense of lift. And then we float the left heel off the floor and try to avoid sagging into the right hip. So we're trying to keep the hip over the right foot. And then if you can take your left heel off the floor, can you float your toes up just by simply relaxing your foot? See if that sense of balance is still there when you bring yourself into a fingertip touch with the chair. And then see if you can release the chair completely. We're just observing. It doesn't matter if you wobble, doesn't matter if you put your foot down, just taking a few minutes and then placing both feet on the floor. Observe how the two sides of the body feel. Give yourself a little wiggle if a little wiggle will help. And then we do the same thing on the other side. So we're going to press into the left foot, find that lift. Just float the right heel off the mat, making sure that we don't sag into that left hip still over the left ankle. And then keeping that sense of lift through the body, can you float the toes off the floor as well? And if you can, coming to a fingertip touch. And if you can, releasing your hands away from touching any support. So we're building slowly there. One side is always better than the other. So observe if this is your less wobbly or more wobbly side. And when you're ready, step onto both feet. And remember, you can hang back onto your support, whether that be a wall is always handy because it's, it doesn't move anywhere and you can hang onto it wherever, or your chair as you choose. So it doesn't really matter which side of your body balances better than the other, or if you feel no discernible difference at all at the moment. It might come with time where you build this awareness. It might be that today everything is even on both sides. We're going to try using our gaze on this second round to see if we can improve our sense of balance. So this time we're going to look at a point of focus ahead of us that's not moving, but also try to find an awareness of our peripheral vision. So on both feet on the floor, with both feet on the floor, look forward to your point of focus and reach your hands forward, and then take your hands around the body till you can just see them in your peripheral vision. Maybe if you wiggle the fingers. Very good. So we want to keep this sense of awareness of our peripheral vision. Put the hand down that is touching the chair or the wall, or both hands down if you need to, but keeping that sense of your peripheral vision. We're going to take our weight onto our right foot, find that lift in the body, lifting the left heel, lifting the left toes if you can off the floor, making a fingertip touch on the chair, holding more if you need to, just being aware of your peripheral vision. See if you can take your opposite hand away from the chair as well. So here you might be balancing with both hands free, focusing on your peripheral vision while your gaze is at one point ahead of you.
Just see if that makes you feel a little bit more stable. And when you're ready, you can float both feet down and take a moment with both feet on the floor. Maybe give yourself a march in place or a little shake out of the legs. It becomes quite a lot of work in the legs. Because when we stand on one foot, we make lots of micro movements to keep ourselves strong and steady. And so the legs do lots of micro firings in those muscles. And it's very good to actually have micro firings. It's one of the ways we maintain strength in the body. And we need to give them the opportunity to do that. So balancing is a great way to do it, which means that if you wobble, your balancing is more effective than if you don't. Hopefully that makes you feel good. So we'll do the same thing on this side. Start on both feet. Look at a point of focus, reach the hands forward, and then take the hands out to the side so that you find your peripheral vision. You can just see it. Take the hand that's supporting you down, and then take your weight onto your left leg, nice and firm in the center, feeling that lift, lifting the heel of the right foot, maybe the toes of the right foot. Check that you're gazing at one point but can see your peripheral vision. Wiggle your fingers if that helps. Maybe take a fingertip touch with the hand that's holding you. Maybe float your hands away from the chair completely. Again, being aware of that peripheral vision, the centered spot you're looking at, that sense of lift in the body. And just noticing if it feels a little bit easier when you are moving your awareness into all of those different places. And when you're ready, stepping onto both feet, reaching your arms down. Give yourself a little dancing shoulder, dancing hip, if that feels good, just to release, perhaps a little wriggle with the feet as well. So once we've engaged our point of focus and our peripheral vision, it really helps us to maintain a balance a little bit better. And of course, by practicing balance in this very static way, we are better able to balance when life requires us to, which is quite good. And the act of walking there's always a point where we've only got one foot on the floor. So it makes us steadier on our feet. It makes our firm foundation a place that we can feel really confident in and move from as well. So for our final practice on the balancing side of things, we're going to use different shapes of the hands, but we also want to think about that strong core, that centered hip, and our forward vision and peripheral vision as well. So we're going to take the hands and make them into fists. And we can leave the one that's on the chair as a fist, it doesn't matter. We can bring the other one down by our side, stand on both feet, stand tall. Think about lifting in the chest, find your point of focus that's not moving. Be aware of your peripheral vision. If you need to give yourself a wiggle, you can give yourself a wiggle. And then taking your weight onto your right leg, making sure that you don't sag your right hip to the right, lifting the left foot, heel or toes and heel off the floor. You can always keep your toes down, it's not a problem at all. Think about the fists on both sides of the body. Think about the gaze that is forward, the peripheral vision, and see if you can float your fists away from the chair so that you have both hands down by the sides in fists. If fists is working, you might also like lengthening your fingers and thumbs, pressing the fingers towards the floor. So like a regimented soldier on parade, arms down by the sides. And then when you're ready, step onto both feet. Now it might be that fists is better and long fingers is not so good. I personally prefer long fingers, but it's good to work with both. And next time you come to this practice, perhaps you want to start with long fingers and then make fists, which we can do on the second side if you like. So we're going to make our hands into long fingers. We're going to rest one hand by the side, one arm down side, one hand on the chair, one arm to the side, standing tall. Find your point of focus, find your peripheral vision, and then take your awareness onto your left foot. Feel that lift out of the center of the foot, lifting the right heel and toes off the floor, stretching the fingertips down towards the standing foot. Take a moment, see if you can release both hands to be down by the sides, fingertips pointing downwards.
See if this feels like a better position, or if you prefer fists, roll your hands into fists, still maintaining awareness of your peripheral vision. That point of focus is where you're resting your gaze ahead. When you're ready, stand onto both feet. Take a moment just shaking out anything that needs shaking out, perhaps just using a bit of support to shake out one leg and then the other. They've done quite a lot, just rolling through the shoulders as well. So balance is something that there are lots of elements to it, but it really helps if you know you have to balance for something, or if you're working to promote your balance and therefore bone strength and density, then a few of these drills using those additional items. So our directed gaze and awareness of the peripheral vision positions of the hands really help as well. And I hope that you find this useful and it's made you feel more steady on your feet. To release, we should do a little bit of one leg action, but moving our legs. So we're going to stand, foot nearest the chair is the standing leg, and we're just going to swing the outside leg a little bit. Trying to stay really tall. We're using all of those balancing drills to help make this more effective. Try to keep your leg straight as it goes behind you, straightish. You can point your toes forwards and flex your heel back if you like, and try and keep a little bit of lift through the rest of the body. If this feels good, you can bring your legs to stillness and just then do a little bit of knee circling. We're just doing about 3 in each direction. I have some clicky hips. I hope that yours are feeling okay. And then we're going to stay on this right leg and bring the knees together, turning the left foot out to the side, and then bring the left toes to the ankle. So knees in, foot out, toes towards ankle, toes out, toes towards ankle, toes out, toes towards ankle. And then lengthen the left leg out to the left and just cross the body in front of you and then out to the side. And then we can take that foot and place it behind the body, do a little curtsy, and then reach the left leg out to the side. So a little curtsy and then kick wide. Let's do one more. Very good. So just marching in place, feeling the difference between the two sides, wiggling the hips, whatever helps. And we'll do the same thing on the other side. I'm going to change my chair today, but you might have a handy piece of wall to hang on to. And then we want the side of the body that's supportive closest to your support, and swinging the opposite leg. We're trying to stand tall. We're trying to engage parts of the body as we have throughout the class, thinking about strength from center and strength of the standing leg. You can point your toes forwards and flex your heel back. Try to keep your leg long and straight if you can. So there's not a kick up behind at the back. It's just a long, straight leg. When you're ready, you can bring your legs near to stillness and then transition into a few of those hip circles, using your knee, just 3 in each direction. And hopefully this will help alleviate some of the effort from our standing poses, but also help promote strength. When you're ready, you can bring your knees together and take your right foot out to the right, and then bring your right toes to your left ankle and point your right knee out to the right. So doing the best you can with this twisting motion. So the idea is to do a little bit of internal and external rotation, or lateral and medial rotation with the hip here. Let's do one more. And then we can reach the right leg out to the right and just swing it across in front of the body, making sure that you don't kick your chair or anything else around you. Swinging out to the side and across. And then when you're ready, making a little curtsy behind the body and swinging the right leg out to the right. Curtsy and curtsy. Let's do one more. Very good. Stand on both feet. Now, I'm sure like me, your legs feel like they've done tons of work, and that's great. Let's see if we can create a little bit of length before we come to relaxation. Hands onto the chair and making your downward facing dog. So soft knees, lengthening the tailbone behind you, keeping the Head between the upper arms or slightly above, maybe a gentle turn of the head from side to side. Scoop your belly in and then gently swaying your hips. Little sway of the hips from side to side, feeling some length coming into those parts of the body that have been really working hard today. And then when you're ready, bending your knees and walking your feet in. And there are lots of different poses that we can do to help stretch out, but one of them is a balancing pose. So this can be done sitting down as well. I shall show it to you facing forwards. So you take your standing leg and you cross the opposite foot over the knee and then just bend your standing leg a little bit to sit into this pose. So the right knee is pointing out to the right ankle is on top of the left thigh, and here you can make any movements that feel good. If standing up to do this doesn't work for you, then you can cross the legs in front of the body sitting down, and it's very similar. And in the seated pose, you can even lean forward and just get a sense of length around the outside of that right thigh. If neither of these works, so sometimes they don't, some people just don't have the rotation for that, you can simply step your right leg in front of you to the chair. We're just trying to create a little bit of length here and maybe play with the angle of your hips. Little movement here. So whichever version of this you're doing, you can play with the bend of the knee that's standing. You can wiggle yourself around. If you're seated in the chair, you might lean a little bit more forwards as well. And when you're ready, you can stand onto both legs, just feeling the difference between the two sides. If you're seated, just stay sitting. And then we can do the other side. So we're crossing the ankle over the opposite thigh, bending the knee of the standing leg. So we've got one knee pointing out to the side, the standing leg knee bent as well. Seeing if you can access that sense of length around the outside of your hip. Remembering that you can do this sitting down as well. Same process, just maybe bending forward to get that sense of length, if that feels good to you. I find that the sitting down one doesn't really suit me quite so well, but you could easily just have your foot up on something. It doesn't need to be as high up as the chair, but maybe play around with the movement across the back of the body, particularly trying to find some length. You should be guided by how your body feels and how it responds to the movements that you're doing as well. Whenever you're ready, you can stand onto both feet, give yourself a little wiggle or schmiggle, release anything else that feels like it needs releasing, and we'll prepare for relaxation. So an extra layer is good, and maybe some blocks underneath the feet, if that's what you like to do. Maybe a blanket, if that also feels good. Oh, please excuse me. Just going to grab a tiny bit of water. Just to lubricate the voice as we come to relaxation. So as you come to sitting down, we'll maybe do a tiny spinal twist. Taking the knees towards each other, keeping the thighs moving together, the ankles moving together, and then sitting tall. We'll take the arms wide and twist to the right, taking the left arm across the body, just holding onto the chair back or the chair seat, using both arms for a bit of leverage, maybe even turning your head a little further, keeping the thighs moving towards each other. Take a couple of deep breaths in and out. When you're ready, you can unwind your spine, looking to the front first, and then unwinding the rest of the body, turning to the opposite side. We're going straight into a twist there, reaching across the body with the right hand, reaching behind you with the left hand, turning your head, sitting tall, thighs pressed towards each other, belly muscles gently engaged, breathing as deeply as you can. And then when you're ready,
You can unwind your head first, release the hands, unwind the spine, just turn a little to the opposite side, a little sway a few times before finding your way back to center. And then perhaps now is the right time to put your blanket on and settle yourself back in your seat. So we really want to allow the back of the body to release into the seat behind us so that we can take the effort out of the back of the body. If you have the opportunity to rest your head against a wall or even to recline on your sofa or in bed as you do relaxation, you may find added benefits to being able to release the weight of the head as well. When you've brought yourself to a comfy position, closing your eyes, take this opportunity to have a deep breath and sigh out. Let's repeat that 3 more times. A deep breath in, let all of the effort of practice go. A deep breath in, let your muscles begin to release. Deep breath in and surrender your weight back and down into the chair and the floor. Allow your breath to find its natural rhythm and fall into quietness. Take your awareness into your forehead. Feel it soften. Feel the area around your eyes relaxing. The space between the eyebrows spreading. Your mouth, tongue, and jaw releasing. Allow the whole of the body to feel heavy, but warm, supported, releasing back and down. We're going to move our awareness around the body and use our mind's voice. So repeating the things you hear in your mind to allow us a little extra dimension for relaxation. Draw your awareness to your right arm and repeat after me. I relax my right arm. My right arm is relaxed. I am at peace. I relax my right arm. My right arm is relaxed. I am at peace. I relax my left arm. My left arm is relaxed. I am at peace. I relax my left arm. My left arm is relaxed. I am at peace. I relax my right leg. My right leg is relaxed. I am at peace. I relax my right leg. My right leg is relaxed. I am at peace. I relax my left leg. My left leg is relaxed. I am at peace. I relax my left leg. My left leg is relaxed. I am at peace. I relax the front of my body. The front of my body is relaxed. I am at peace. I relax the front of my body. The front of my body is relaxed. I am at peace. I relax the back of my body. The back of my body is relaxed. I am at peace. I relax the back of my body. The back of my body is relaxed. I am at peace. I relax my face and head. My face and head are relaxed. I am at peace. I relax my face and head. My face and head are relaxed. I am at peace. I relax the whole of my body. My whole body is relaxed. I am at peace. I relax the whole of my body. My whole body is relaxed. I am at peace. Gently begin to deepen your breath. Bring your awareness back to your hands and your feet by moving your fingers and toes, maybe rolling wrists and ankles. When you feel ready, take a deep breath in and stretch the arms in any way that feels good. Maybe you're lengthening the sides of the body, or yawning, or whatever feels like it needs to move. When you're ready, you can gather yourself back to center and rest your hands over your heart or your palms together at your chest. Take just a moment to feel the effect of your work, to feel the effort that you've made, the strength that you've grown, the heat that you've generated, the energy that you've used. Feel the sense of peace within, the calm that you have created, and perhaps a sense of joy kindled deep within. When you're ready, you can simply bow your head forward and give yourself a small smile. And take that smile and the calm and the energy throughout your week. And I hope it helps you navigate life as you go through your week. When you're ready, raising your head, opening your eyes. Thank you for joining in this practice. Look forward to our last one of the term next week. Namaste.